All right. We be live. We're going to be producing some music live, so anyone watching this replay, we're going to start in just a second here as people start joining. And hopefully everything is operating well. For anyone who is on the stream already, drop a comment. Let me know you're here. Say hello. Would love to hear from you. And we're going to just start working on some music. So I've already got a bunch of things here. And while I'm just waiting for people to join, I am going to be color coding. So to anyone watching the replay or joining now, I have some music to work on. And I figured, you know what? I haven't done a live stream in quite a while, and I figured it was time. Can you guys hear me okay? What's up? What's up? Jonah? Philip? Can you guys hear me okay? Audio working? Because I've had my fair share of major issues with audio. Hey, there we go. We got people here. Nice. Glad we got people jumping in even after me not doing a live stream for quite a while. So yeah, awesome. Well, as I mentioned, I'll say it again as people are joining. I have work I got to do production wise. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do a stream and just show you guys what I'm working on, and also just try to bring you some value as much as I can. I know whenever we do these types of streams, it's really valuable for those of you watching. So I'm going to play this top to bottom in a second. This is a song that me and one of my collaborators, the vocalist that you're going to hear on this, it's her. This is just like a temp vocal. So these vocals you hear, this was just like literally a one take that we did in the studio yesterday. And so we wrote this yesterday, and the actual song itself is written. So like everything we have lyrically is done up here, but there's a lot to flesh out instrumentally. As you can see here, I'll kind of zoom out. At the end of the song, pretty much like all of this is almost completely empty. So we're going to fill that all in. You can see here, this is verse 2. I did produce out verse 2 a little bit more just while we were writing. And then the start here, it starts very soft. So this is a cinematic pop track, which is pretty much exclusively what I'm working on at this point. So working on building my catalog for licensing and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and play this start to finish, and then I'm going to be working. I know whenever I do these streams, especially with, you know, a fair amount of people jumping in, I don't know how many people will be here, but we have a lot of questions, but I am working on this. So I'll be answering questions as I can. The point of the stream is just so you guys can be a fly on the wall. This is not like a teaching stream, okay? Like I actually have work I have to do. So this is fly on the wall type stuff. That's not saying don't ask questions. Please ask questions. I'm just saying if I don't get to your question right away, it's because I'll probably in the flow of things. So here we go. Let's do it.
Darkness is coming. No use in running. The chaos is rising. No chance of surviving. What would you do if the world was ending? Say your goodbyes before we're dead. Sky on fire. Sky on fire. our chances get better. A hopeless endeavor. If we die without trying, then it won't mean a thing. So what would you give to see tomorrow, just to survive another day? Sky on fire, sky on fire, nowhere to run.
All right, I'll stop it there just because it's kind of more or less the same. And as you can see, there's no production in this yet. So that's what I have to do. So just to answer a couple questions right off the bat about the vocal, this was a one take. She's, yeah, really talented. And as you can see, there is no, oh yeah, there is autotune. Just kidding. There is autotune. I was going to say there's none. But yeah, I haven't done actual pitch correction. So we're going to go ahead and get going on this. What I want to work on right now is probably the first chorus. I tend to like working chronologically through a song. Some people, like for me, I've already gotten a lot of the start here done. I'm going to mute the vocals out because I'm not going to be really working with the vocals at this point. The vocals are there only as just a placeholder. Like I said, we wrote this yesterday. We had another song that we were actually doing vocal production for, and then we wrote that. We had time left, so we wrote this song. So, all right. So, like I said, I'm going to go to the chorus here. All right, this piano part, I don't want that in here. That piano part was just there for like a placeholder. All right, so I do know one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more hammers and waves stuff in here. I'm going to be making a video about hammers and waves. I already did one already, but I'm going to do another one because they're probably my favorite library set right now. I really love the Muted Relic and the Obscura Grand. You're going to be able to hear what I'm talking about here in a second. When you're in a 6/8 time signature like this, these types of libraries are a little trickier to use, especially if you want arpeggios. You've got to basically, kind of dial those things in. But I know I want to have a little bit of a higher piano element here, because right now, so here, I'll just play these bass parts because there was a question about that. This is what it sounds like. This is filtered. Here's what it sounds like, no filter. So really edgy. I didn't want it so edgy on this first chorus. It will get edgy later on. And then this right here is from Substance. And I did throw some reverb on that as well and filtered it out. This is what it sounded like without that filter, which is a little more than I want. All right, so back to it. I want to add a higher kind of piano element here. All right. I have a bunch of things that I made down here. There we go. Now we're talking. All right, so I need to change this to 6 because we are in 6/8. Okay, and this is gonna be like just a more of an effect than anything. Right now, all I want is more of an effectual thing. Like that. Okay, here we go. Ah, that was bad. All right, so I like the start of this here. Let's get some crystalline on here. Da, da. I think I want to keep it the same as what we did before. All right, that right there. Dun, 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 dun. Da, da, da. There we go. There we go. Let's play this whole chorus again. Want to hear this in the context.
Sky on fire. Sky on fire. No, nowhere to run. Nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on fire.
All right, cool. The next thing I'm going to do is add some Olafur Arnold's Evolution strings. These things are awesome. I love these. So I'm going to do chamber waves. And I usually kind of layer these up a little bit. So there we go. Might do a little bit longer. Sky on fire. Sky, yeah, just like that.
Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on fire.
Kind of played some wrong notes there at the end. Where was that chord? Here we go.
Skin, burning your soul.
All right, don't want these notes at the end here though. Would it blow your mind to know that this vocalist is 19 years old? Blows my mind. She's like probably one of the most talented singers I've ever worked with. And she's 19, which is just ridiculous. Chamber evolution mid. All right. I usually layer these chamber strings up. I don't know if I'm going to do it right now, but I probably will a little later. All right, that sounds good. Yeah.
Sky on fire. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to go. Under your skin.
All right, I want a tam here. I'm a big fan of tam-tams. That's that sound right there.
Sky on fire.
All right, cool. Tam-tam for the win. If you want cymbals, but you don't want them to be like super aggressive, tam-tam's kind of the best in my opinion.
On fire. Sky on
let's add another low hit here. Here's this low hit. These are all from Keep Forest. Keep Forest has a bunch of great stuff.
Sky on fire.
Okay, so then chords here are, yeah, Trevor, we're not going to do big drums yet. Those come in a lot, they're going to come in later. Trust me, it'll get big, but you need to realize we're only in the first chorus. This is introducing the whole thing, and since this is for licensing, then really the best way of doing it is having a really soft one that's very mellow, then doing a big one, and then doing a really big one. So there's 3 different ways of utilizing that if you want. So for right now, I want this to be relatively subtle. All right. Now I'm going to do some percussion here. I really like a lot of these metal sounds within Damage. There we go. This will just be like a simple time thing.
Sky on fire. Sky on.
Actually, you know what?
Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run.
All right. I know you guys have lots of ideas. I'm getting there. I can only work so fast. All right. This is filtered metal hit. All right, and then I'm going to filter this a little bit and then also just add a delay and a reverb to it. So EQ. This is kind of like the standard approach that I have whenever I am dealing with something like this, where I want it to be a little bit in the background. So I'm just adding these plugins all together right now. No, I want to use Realm. Realm will give me a little bit of a better result, I think. There we go. Please add some yodels. I'm going to do a, well, let's do dotted 16th. So let's just see how that sounds. Nope. Nope. First of all, I don't want so much wetness on this. There we go, dotted 8th.
Sky on fire.
There we go.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul.
Boom. I like that. I think we're going to need a little bit more volume. Yeah, all my live streams go into my catalog, so you can always watch this later if you'd like. All right.
Sky on fire. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on fire.
No, it's not the newest version of Logic. I don't really feel comfortable to switch yet. I don't want to move my operating system over quite yet.
Sky on fire.
All right, this one's a little longer of a swell.
Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Sky on fire.
Vocalist, her name is Sailor Wilterting. She's pretty much just getting her career going. She's 19. Like, she literally just graduated high school. It's freaking nuts. And I got lucky to discover her. So through a friend, a buddy of mine who actually I've done some co-writes with, and he was like, dude, you got to hear this girl. And we ended up doing a co-write a couple months back. She killed it and then sang on it. And then I was like, holy crap. And then me and that same guy wrote another song that we were like, let's feature her on it. And that will actually be released in about 3-4 weeks. It's a song we wrote called Upside Down. That'll be going on like Spotify on my new artist Spotify, which is NJL, if you want to find any of the music that we're doing there. And that's also going to be, we filmed a music video that'll be on the new YouTube channel as well. What's up, John? All right. I just want another kind of like boom in here. Just a little bit of pitch correction. This is not a final vocal. I already said this earlier, but for those just joining, we just wrote this song yesterday. So there we go. I need something like that.
On fire.
Heck yeah.
Sky on fire.
Woo. There we're talking.
Nowhere to run. Nowhere to go. Under your skin.
Woo.
Burning your soul. Sky.
Yeah, she's not trying to be a producer though. She's working with me and another my other buddy who's a producer.
On fire.
We haven't done vocal production yet. I know people are still just like joining. We haven't done vocal production yet. This is literally just a scratch vocal. So I'm gonna have to say that a few more times, I'm sure. Okay, this guy needs to be fixed here. Dun 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 dun. Okay, I need. No. There we go. All these messed up notes. Here we go. I tend to layer strings because I find that it sounds more realistic to do that. There we go. This is verse 2. What I meant by layering strings is using different string libraries together. So like right here, this is Chamber Strings by Spitfire right here. You can tell there's like a different tone to those strings than the Abbey Road strings here. Yeah, I know what you mean by the clock ticking. That sounds cool. That'd be really cool. So yeah, basically these are two separate string libraries doing the same thing. Each are handling some other element or kind of like tonal characteristic of it. So just wanna Ah, no. There we go. Uh-oh. Are those the notes I want? That'd be why. Where'd you go?
See tomorrow just to survive another day. Sky on.
Yeah, so we'll have a kind of like a riser thing there. This needs to kind of be a big hit.
Sky on fire.
Dun, 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 bum, 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 bum. John Lee, all of my lives go into my just like video catalog afterwards, so you can always watch these lives later. Lars Guitars, you're from Nebraska? Where in Nebraska? I live in Nebraska. I live in Kearney. Fun fact. All right, verse 2. I want to kind of go back here.
Burning your soul, sky on fire. If we stand together, fire. If we stand together, our chances get better. A hopeless endeavor.
Oh, that's right. I remember.
If we die without trying, then it won't mean a thing. So what would you give to
Here we go. I know what we're going to do here. Duh.
So what would you give to see tomorrow just to survive another day?
Yeah, I need to wait to do that until...
What would you give to see tomorrow just to survive another day? Sky on fire.
that hit needs to happen sooner. That hit needs to happen, like, here.
Sky on fire.
Yeah, so we need to have a big drop happen here. Let's go to our downers. So usually whenever I do downers and stuff, I usually layer them and then I manipulate the crap out of them.
Sky on fire.
So like, for example, this is way too long. So I'm going to put a big slowdown here. Then do that.
Sky on fire.
And then a riser, so downer 1. And then I need to find some other things that will do that. Yeah, those types of hits always work well. Just gotta be careful not to overdo it.
Sky on fire.
Okay. Then we need to do a riser, which my go-to is rise and hit. I've been kind of working on finding some better. I like the symphonic train one, I think. Yep.
Sky
I bet it's because it's 6/8. It's going to have a hard time figuring this out. So what would be the equivalent? Probably 3 beats.
Sky on fire.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, slow down. If you do a fade and then right click. So here, I'm doing a fade. If you right click on the fade itself, you can do slow down. So, fun little fact for you.
Sky on fire.
And then in order to mask that, we got to do another hit. Usually something that we've already kind of heard before, like that.
Sky on fire.
Yeah. See, if we don't have that, a symphonic passage, train, rise. I'm going to do another riser. Because again, if you want your stuff to sound really unique, then layering unique sounds is how you do it. So if we just had that one riser, sounds cool, but if we layer this with a completely unique one that's going to tonally do something different, then yeah, not that. Rise and hit is hit and miss. No. If I had something that dropped. No. That could work. You said the last cut is a tad too loud. We're not even there yet. Take a breather. I'm ahead of you already. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Let's just see how that sounds in context.
Sky on fire.
Yeah. And then let's listen to the context a bit.
What would you give to see tomorrow, just to survive another day? Sky on fire.
There we go. And we need a cymbal in here as well to, again, a lot of it is about masking things. Like if you have one of these elements and then you don't do something to kind of like transition from one thing into the next, it'll sound, so like even though this sounds cool, like it's just not all the way there yet in my mind. It's like we could get it 5% better by just adding a cymbal swell, because what that cymbal swell is going to do going into this is it's going to mask that transition from that riser into that hit and into the next moment. So something like that.
Sky on fire.
Yeah.
On fire.
Yep. Just like that. And then I'm going to add another tam. Oh, no. Don't want to do that. Add another tam. All right. And then obviously we're going to add a lot more rhythm and stuff in here. Let's back up a little bit. I kind of want to listen back a bit.
What would you do if the world was ending? Say your goodbyes before we're dead. Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on fire.
Cool. So that's about where we're at. Thanks for the super chat, Luxverse. Appreciate that. You guys don't need to do that, but obviously I'm super appreciative of that. So he says you struggle to identify instruments from ear. What do you do? That's a really good question. So like, are you talking about like orchestral instruments? You're talking about just like synthesized instruments, just instruments in general? Because one of the things I suggest, and I suggest this very frequently, is to spend time in your DAW simply exploring sounds and then practicing listening to music, going into your DAW, trying to replicate those sounds, and not even make music. I'm not even talking about like go produce a song and practice. I'm talking about like 30 minutes of nothing but sound exploration, because if you really want to get good at picking sounds and know where to find those sounds, then you need to actually spend time working on training your ear to know what those sounds are. And then the second thing is where to even find those sounds. I have spent, like 14 years doing this. I started producing music when I was 14 years old. So there you go. You can do the math and figure out how old I am. But I've spent a long time doing this, and it took a long time to train my ear. And like, I didn't really get good at sound selection for probably 4 or 5 years, but I also wasn't spending time practicing it. And when I actually started spending time practicing, like, where are these sounds? What are these sounds? What sounds better than other sounds? And how do I identify a great sound from a not great sound? And the textures and the tonal elements and all that stuff is really helpful. The second thing is, or third thing, whatever thing I'm on, is, the acquisition of sounds. The acquisition of sounds is one of those things that I really value. I know it's expensive, but I just can't overstate how important it is to have access to killer sounds. There's not a single sound I'm using in this that I did not buy. I think this is one of those things where if you have a choice between buying a new mic or like new speakers or new anything compared to sound libraries, I always encourage sound libraries first. Like, if you don't have killer sounds that you have very quick access to, but then you're going and spending money on like an EQ plugin, in my opinion, that's a massive waste of money, because your EQ plugin's not going to have nearly as much of an effect on your music as just the sounds you choose. So you need to make sure you have actually great sounds. So anyway, that's what I'd recommend. Thank you for the super chat. Hopefully that helps. If you guys, obviously, if you feel inclined to do super chat and support the channel that way, that's great. Definitely don't need to feel any obligation. So I'm here working. Like, this is not something, I'm not doing this live stream because I'm like, oh, I need content. Like, I'm doing this live stream because I legitimately needed to work on this today, because we're recording the vocals for this on Friday. So it needs to be done today, because Thursday because tomorrow is going to be a slam day for me. So this has to get done today. And then I need to actually send this to my vocalist so then she can spend time listening to it and practicing with it. So that's why I'm doing this stream, because I need to work, and I figured, why not bring you guys some value as well? Okay, we're going to keep moving here because I really, really got to get some more stuff going on here. I want to go back to this little transitional moment in here. All right, so first thing I want to do is I'm going to duplicate this sub kick. That's what it sounds like. Have I tried the Hammers and Waves VST? Feel free to edit. Yeah, that's like literally half of these keyboard instruments are Hammers and Waves. You can see this is pulsed, HW muted. This is a preset that I made in Hammers and Waves. I love Hammers and Waves. Hammers and Waves is my all-time favorite library over the past year. I've actually become pretty good friends with their CEO. So that sounded like a humble brag. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. But I've gotten to know the guys at Hammers and Waves, and they're freaking awesome. Skybox is great. All right, so what I'm going to do is just grab a kick here. Hold on, there it is. Okay, and then I'm going to remove this filter because I have a filter on it, so it's just, there we go. And then what I'm going to do is add a little bit of reverb on this, and I'm going to make sure I roll off the lows. Not that much, though. About like that. And then I'm going to bounce this to audio, reverse to sub. Okay, so got that. And what I'm going to do is add a fade there. And then I'm going to go into my options here to reverse it. And it's going to sound like this. Oops. Forgot that when you add a fade, it goes to the... I don't like that that happens. It's kind of stupid in my opinion. There we go. Add the fade right here. All right, we need to make that shorter. Maybe just add a tiny fade. That's still too long. There we go. How can you get on a call with me? Sorry, that's not something I do. I have about 1,000 students in my program, and obviously, you know, a pretty decent sized audience, and I have a lot of other work I have to do like every single day. So I don't do one-on-one calls. I apologize. Okay, so
Sky on fire.
All right. So what I'm doing right now is I'm getting it so that I get these these little almost like pre-transient. They're like reversed elements that are going to go into this. So
on fire.
Okay, there we go. What are good sample packs for cinematic sound effects? I mean, like Keep Forest is incredible. Native Instruments has a ton of stuff. Spitfire has awesome stuff. Output has awesome stuff. I use all of them.
Sky on fire.
Okay, so then I'm actually going to duplicate this short sub kick. I don't want it to be that long. Okay, so then I just need to shorten this tail right here like that. There we go.
If we stand together.
I'm okay with it being a little longer.
If we stand together.
Yeah, Playbox is pretty good. Luxverse, if you want to check out Producer Accelerator, just go to that link I just dropped in the chat.
On fire. If we stand together.
It's still just too long.
If we stand together.
All right, so I'm gonna have to bounce this to audio again because I'm gonna show you why here in a second. Okay, so as you can see, there all these. I'm gonna make a cut, and then I'll show you what I'm doing here in a second. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna save myself some time. I'm just gonna delete that. Delete that. Boom. And then add a fade right here. Not that much. I just don't want to pop or click. Of course. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, here we go. Grab that. Grab that.
If we stand together. Our chances get better. A hopeless endeavor.
want to see what this sounds like without having this string here.
If we stand together, our chances get better. A hopeless endeavor. If we die without trying, then it won't mean a thing.
All right, so I removed the string, legato string from the beginning here just to leave a little bit more room for that vocal, and I really want this muted kind of ARP thing to cut through the mix a little bit more. And so instead of just turning it up, I'm gonna just remove I'm gonna remove as much as I can.
We stand together. Our chances get better. A hopeless endeavor. If we die without trying, then it won't mean a thing. So what would you give to see tomorrow?
All right, I'm gonna show you something really cool about chamber strings, the Spitfire library. So what I want to do, Sean Barnes, what's up, my dude? Good to see you, dude. I think I saw your email. I apologize, I haven't responded. It's been a bonkers crazy start to the year. I did see your email though, and I would definitely be interested in trying that library. So anyway, side note. So what I'm going to show you is with the legato performance patches and Spitfire's chamber strings, you can actually get the portamento. I just need to remember which one it is. Okay, so it's D. Fingered, bowed, and okay. So basically, they have these triggers where I'm going to do it right here. All right, so watch what happens now. The transition between this note and this note, it's going to portamento. Ah, yeah, I love it. And then I'm going to have to move this forward a little bit to give it more space. Yep. And then I want to do it again. This is how you get realistic strings. If you do this stuff, it's like it sells it. Oops. Did I have the wrong one? Ah, yep, wrong one. Heck yeah. I freaking love that. This is just like one of those things some string libraries have. This is, I'll be totally honest with you, that's why this Spitfire library is so expensive. Like that right there.
To survive.
All right, let's listen in context, make sure you can even hear it.
Mean a thing. So what would you give to see tomorrow? Just
Yeah, it's tucked in. Might not be able to hear it, but those little details make a difference for sure. So I would definitely recommend taking the time to do that stuff. All right, so I want to kind of listen.
we stand together. Our chances get better. A hopeless endeavor. If we die without trying, then it won't mean a thing. So what would you give to see tomorrow? Just to survive another day. Sky on fire.
Ah, I love it. I love it when you start getting to that point to where things are starting to sound like they're good. Okay, so I'm gonna double. Just this is kind of like a thing that I do very frequently. Is If I really want a particular melody to be powerful, then what you would want to do is double that an octave high or low. So in this case, so I don't want it here, but I do want it here. So this is the violin 2. I'm going to do down the octave. And this is going to strengthen this melody. Okay, cool. We'll need to obviously work on that chorus. Let's back up a little bit. I still just don't feel super awesome about this section here. Yeah.
On fire. If we
All right, that's cool. Maybe just not as much emphasis on these loud notes. A little too much. There we go.
on fire.
Still a little bit too much.
Fire.
There we go.
If we stand together, our chances get better.
All right, so now it's time to start filling out the drums in here a little bit more with some subtle stuff. This is the one thing that kind of stinks. When you go into 6/8, it really does limit your ability to grab just like loops and stuff, which is fine. I'm gonna do some organic. Let's do plastics. There we go.
If we stand together, our chances get better. A hopeless endeavor. If we die without trying, then it won't mean a thing. So what would you give to see tomorrow, just to survive another day?
All right, so there's quite a lot going on over there. I'm gonna not do anything that I did in the beginning here. Want to just basically.
Chances get better. A hopeless endeavor. If we die without trying, then it won't mean a thing. So what would you give to see tomorrow, just to survive another day?
Interesting. Did one of these hits get moved? Yep, somehow. That's kind of weird.
Sky on fire.
All right, so we're gonna change the whole rhythmic pulse here. This is where it's gonna like go to a full kit, full epicness, all that stuff. All right, I just want to start this from the top. This is something I do very frequently. Like whenever I'm working, it's very easy to get like sucked into one section, but then not listen to the context. So I do this very frequently. I'll spend like 30 minutes working on something, and then I'll just like stop and go back and listen to the whole context just to make sure I'm not like, you know, going overboard and then realize, oh crap, I threw too much in too soon.
Darkness is coming. No use in running. The chaos is rising. No chance of surviving. You do if the world was ending. Say your goodbyes before we're dead. Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to go under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on fire. If we stand together, our chances get better. A hopeless endeavor. If we die without trying, then it won't mean a thing. So what would you give to see tomorrow? Just to survive another day. Sky on fire.
All right, cool. Man, I'm really happy with how this sounds, which is always a good sign. And by the way, if you're looking over here and being like, dude, you're clipping. I know. It's okay. It's going to be all right. We can always turn stuff down later. When I'm producing, I'm honestly just not terribly worried about clipping because nothing in here is clipping. If a track is clipping, that's a problem. But if you see the whole stereo output clipping, again, it's not a big deal because I'm going to turn everything down later. Obviously, if there's noticeable distortion, then that's a problem. But ever thought of doing dub reggae? Very different way of working in normal songwriting. I don't know. That's funny. Do a battle with Hans Zimmer. Yeah, I would lose. Okay, so let's start working on this chorus. Because this is obviously a really important part of the song. So, and this is where I kind of honestly want to just get rid of everything and start completely from scratch. Let's get rid of this.
Fire. Sky on fire.
Okay. I'm going to start with drums and bass.
On fire.
All right, so my go-to for this stuff is Butch Vig whenever I want these crazy epic drums. Which plugins am I using? How much time do we have? Because I mean, if you're asking about sound libraries, it's a lot. We'll just see how that sounds in the context. I'm not sure if this will work.
Eye on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul. Sky.
All right, here we go. That's cool. Maybe a little bit more distorted than I want, but I can just use it as a placeholder. A lot of times I'll just do things as placeholders and then see, yeah. The comment about me losing to Forrest, that's fine. I mean, Forrest is a great producer. I mean, I had fun with the track, and I have no problem with people liking what he did more. That's totally cool with me. All right. Let's do the kick and snare. Let's do snare. So Butch Vig again. I love Butch Vig for snares. The question is, how much time do you use each day for working on projects? It depends. I mean, there are some days where I don't do any producing because I've got a crap load of other things to do. I mean, I obviously produce music, but then I also have the YouTube channel. I have my program that I manage. And so I have employees that I manage. So, I mean, I would like to do more, but at the end of the day, I probably spend 2 to 3 days a week working on music. And then the rest is videos, admin, I mean, just a bunch of other stuff. So there we go. Placeholder just means I'm going to put it in, but I might change it later. It's basically a placeholder sound would be like a sound that like it's close, but maybe not exactly what I'm looking for. Like this right here, I kind of like it, but I'm probably going to want something more beefy. Yeah.
Eye on fire. Sky on fire.
I mean, to be honest with you, that sounds pretty good. Just layer it with another sound. Oops. Maybe just layer it with another sound that's got more beef to it. Butch distorted snare. I always make my snares orange. Helps me remember what I'm doing. Okay, so there's that, and then now I'm gonna look for another one. Beefy snare. I already know that's what I want, so I just want a beefy snare, which I might do this. I have a bunch of samples I really like. Snares hybrid. That one. Yeah, don't trip on the details when you're writing or producing for sure. There we go. So this sound is has that beef and meat, and then when I layer it with this other one, I think it'll blend well.
Fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere.
Might add a little bit of sustain to this. Just use like transient master or something.
Burning your soul. Sky on fire.
To be honest with you, I'm just not really worried about EQ and compression right now. Like most of these, here's the thing you need to know about like sounds. Like if you're using really good sounds, most of them are already compressed and they are already EQ'd. So yeah. Does a quick sampler change pitch based on the note in the MIDI? It does on its own, but like if you look here, I turn pitch tracking. Oop, that's the wrong one. By the way, if you're thinking, because feel free to edit, you said this isn't suitable. So right now it maybe sounds a little out of place because literally there's nothing else around it. It will sound in place once I put everything else around it. So just keep that in mind. Like right now you're listening to this with nothing else produced. So yes, the drums are going to sound out of place right now, but I know where I'm going with this, and that's not me saying like just trust me. Like I know where I'm going with it. I know where I'm going with it, and I know what's going to sound like because I've literally done this like hundreds of times, and I know how this is going to sound once I throw in bass and all the other instruments. It's going to sound great. So the question about key tracking. Oh my gosh, what in the actual? That's super weird. What the heck? That is why I was like, that's just not sounding how I want. There we go. That makes way more sense. There we go. There we go.
Sky on fire.
There we go.
Nowhere to run. Nowhere to go.
So again, right now you're hearing literally nothing but drums and like vocals. So yes, of course it's going to sound out of place. Yeah, it's going to get better. Trust me. I work in a particular way. A certain, yeah. Quick question out of curiosity: if I'm going to study music production at a music school and I watched a lot of, I don't know. It depends on what music production program you're going to. I mean, if you're going to like a Berkeley or like a UCLA or a major school like that, or even like one of the trade schools like, what is it, like Crass? I think you'd find a lot of value there. But like my school that I went to had a production program, and yeah. Let's put it this way. I asked the guy who taught the course because I started producing when I was 14, right? So like when I got into college, I had already had like 4+ years of doing it. And I remember asking the guy who taught the course, I was like, hey, do you think I should take this class? And he was basically like, like you could probably teach it. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm biased against universities in general, because I think most of them are incredibly outdated. I just don't think universities are up to date. Like I didn't learn a single freaking thing about how to have a career when I was in college. I really didn't learn anything. Like, I'm not going to say anything valuable because I did. Like theory, I think is very valuable. I learned a lot about theory. I learned a lot about like writing music and composition and stuff, which translates very well to what I do now. But like that was all stuff I learned in the first like 1 to 2 years of school. And then the last 2 years of school were just kind of like, okay, I'm learning like a bunch of really advanced stuff that I'm never going to use. And also not learning how to have a career. I had to figure out how to have a career completely on my own. I was, by the way, just to back up a second, I was already doing this professionally when I was in college. I started making money doing this when I was 19. My first job I ever got was writing for a film production company. They were doing like commercial clients, and I was doing custom music for them. Yeah. Do you have any plans for producing an epic trailer, build orchestral thing? I mean, most of the stuff I like making is vocal like this. So yeah, I don't know. Like I tend to prefer the song. Like I've been a songwriter at heart, but I'm also a composer. And so this style of music that I'm doing right now is kind of like the perfect blend of what I love, because I love the song structure of modern songwriting, like verse, chorus, you know, the pre-chorus, like all of that. I like that. Waldeck, I know you're saying that. I'm not done producing this, so just take a chill. I get it. That's your opinion. That's fine. It'll be okay. So, dude, stop. Like you're flooding the chat with the same thing. We've seen it. It's all good. Please stop. All right. So anyway, that's just the question about school. Like, I don't know. I think that if you're like really serious, yeah, like Berkeley, I've heard really good things about Berkeley, but you got to keep in mind Berkeley is very expensive. So it's just kind of a question of like, what do you want to spend your money on? And then not only that, but you got to spend time as well. So like, if I could go back and do it over again, I would not have gone to college. I would have, because again, I was literally already doing this professionally when I was in school, and none of my peers were doing it. Like I was the only person in my school, like as a composer and as a producer, who was going to school for music, who was literally actually already making income from it while I was a student. And that kind of like, I almost dropped out. I was very close to dropping out. And I just, you know, like In fact, I told my composition professor I was going to drop out, and he was like, yeah, like, I get it. Like, you're already doing it. Like, why would you be here? And the only reason I finished is because my parents were like, you should really finish. And I was like, kind of, in a way, like, I kind of succumbed to that pressure. You know what I mean? Like, my parents were telling me I should finish. So I was like, okay, I guess I should finish. And anyway, like, if I could go back and do it over again, I would not have gotten my degree because I would probably be further in my career. But again, I'm not complaining. I'm 28 years old. I've been self-employed for several years, so I'm not complaining. I went to University of Nebraska, Lincoln, UNL, Big Ten school, which actually, I know a lot of people might kind of be like, oh, yeah, you're just going to like a school in Nebraska. Like, actually has one of the top music programs in the Big Ten, so there is that. All right, we're going to keep working here because I know y'all are chomping at the bit to see what this is going to sound like with more than just drums, so. So we need kind of like a hi-hat-esque thing, which we're going to do with these sticks. We're just not going to filter them anymore. Get rid of the filter. There we go. Okay, I'll do a couple like rolls in there as well. Jeremy, we're in Nebraska. Lux verse. I've talked about this on videos before. Definitely just crank out music because it's going to get better every time. You know, if you're spending like a year, like even like weeks on, if you're spending weeks on something, it just shouldn't. You know, you're gonna learn way more if you're cranking out music, even if it stinks at the beginning. You're gonna learn more by just finishing. Okay, you just need to kind of bring these velocities down a little bit. Don't need that so hot. Wrong way. Needed to go up.
Sky on fire.
North Platte. Nice. I'm in Kearney. Not too far from you.
Nowhere to run. Nowhere to go. Let it go under your skin. Burn. Burn in your soul. Sky on fire.
There we go. Question about how old I am. I'm 28. And I've been producing since I was 14. So 14 years. Almost 15.
Sky on.
Okay, now it's time to add what I call the epic sauce of this, and that is all of the Armageddon hits. Y'all see what I'm talking about in a second. There we go.
Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run.
messy there, but we'll.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on fire.
And then it's gonna go just crazy bonkers.
Your soul. Sky on fire. On fire. Sky on fire.
All right, now it's time to actually build all the rest of the stuff. All right. There we go.
Sky on fire. Sky on fire. No way.
You know what? I'm gonna use a different sound. Just not convinced that that's getting it done for me. Substance is my go-to for bass, crazy bass stuff. I'm gonna do a hybrid sound. Arpeggiator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Obviously. Yeah, that's not working. Nope. There it is. Okay. So then I'm going to go ahead and pluck. I want to just hear that. Okay, why aren't we? Edit. Ah! That'd be why. We'll see.
Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul. Sky. Sky on fire.
Holy smokes, what am I doing? It's weird. What the heck?
Sky.
I'm adding stuff still. I'm literally just on the bass and the drums. Just this is the problem with live streams. People jump in, they're like, you need to do it, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. Like, guys, I'm working on it. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing things in a very particular order right now. I have a workflow. Don't worry. It's gonna be okay, everyone. It's gonna be okay. No.
Sky.
Doggone it. Yeah, I have 64 gig of RAM. It's okay. So that's why. There we go. Heck yeah. No, you're good, Joel. I'm sorry. I just, it's been like in the last 10 minutes, there have been like 5 people that have been like, you do this, you do this, you do this. Like, I know, I'm working on it. It's okay. I'm working on it. Trust me, I'll get there.
Sky.
Peter, yeah, I mean, we'll be releasing this. So I'm, the name of the game is, the name of the game is volume, really. So right now we're working on a catalog of about 10 songs, and then these are songs that we are going to be pitching for new libraries. So we're actually using this to establish some new relationships. Sailor's already signed to audio, as well as Brian, who those are the 2 people I work with the most right now. So they have a home for it if we need it, but I'm trying to get in with some other people as well.
Sky on fire. Sky on fire. No.
All right, time to do the fun stuff, which is the Brams. Actually, you know what? I might just try using output for this. A little more control. Output, analog, brass and winds. Brom, bro. This is a big one. I love the output stuff. Not that. Okay. We need aggressive, so orchestral. Where's the aggressive? Aggressive. There we go. No. It's hit or miss. There we go. Now we're talking. We got to drop the E's down an octave. Oh yeah, there we go. The big, ready for it? Bram. You have to say it that way or else it's not legit. It's not a real Bram if you don't say it like that. Look at that, look at that, look at that label. Look at that, big Bram. All right, here we go. Already those, see what I'm talking about the percussion sounding better when you start adding stuff. The percussion starts sounding a lot better when you actually start adding those layers in. And we haven't even gotten to the strings. We haven't got anything else. She's singing about you. I'm on fire, okay? I actually wrote that line, so maybe it's about me? I don't know. I brought this song to her. So if you guys are interested in like the writing of this, basically I wrote the chorus and then I sent her just like a really, really bad demo of me singing it with like just piano, just the idea. And then I basically was like, hey, do you want to sing on this? Do you want to help write it? And that was like the day before yesterday. And she was like, yes, this is sick. I would love to do this. And so she was coming in yesterday to record a different song, which I could show you guys a little bit later if you want. Y'all can be the first ones to hear it. And then that one we did, and then we had time left over. We had a couple hours left because it only took like maybe an hour and a half or something to record the vocals in that one. And we were like, hey, let's write this one. So we wrote this one, and here we are. This song didn't even exist yesterday, and now look at it. Look at it. It's so beautiful. Her name is Sailor Wilterding. She's a relatively new artist. Any advice for making templates? Yeah, make templates. It's pretty straightforward. Just make templates. This is a template right here. You can see at the top here, big cinema template. A good chunk of probably half of these instruments in here are preloaded. So when I open up a project, it's already completely ready to go. I can't tell you what template to make for yourself. Just whatever you feel like the sounds are you use the most, that you need to get started working, just do that. Okay. I want to keep moving.
Sky on fire, nowhere to run, nowhere to go, under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on fire.
Bugatti. I don't know why I said Bugatti. I was just going to say boom, and then it came out Bugatti.
On fire, sky
Gosh dang.
on fire, nowhere to run.
I can't wait to get to that part. Y'all, the ending of this is just monumental. It's going to be monumental. It's going to be freaking bigger than life. Okay, here we go.
Sky on fire, sky on fire, nowhere to run, nowhere to go, under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on
So then it's going to just explode here, and then it's going to end. So that's, yeah, it's going to be freaking insane. Okay, so
fire. On fire, nowhere to run.
all right, I'm going to do the same thing over here.
Sky on fire, sky on fire, nowhere to run, nowhere to go, under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on fire.
Boom. There we go. All right.
Sky on fire, nowhere to run, nowhere to go, under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on fire.
And then it's going to just blow up. It's going to be freaking sick. I just get so excited about this stuff, guys. Can't even tell you. So excited. All right. So now, okay. Now What do we need to do? We need to add some frickin' brass in here. Heck yeah. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Heck yeah. That's
Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul.
It's like I love it when you get the heart just going frickin' nuts because it's so fun. Yes.
Sky on.
You know what? I'm gonna do it again with the trumpets. But I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till
Nowhere,
to here.
nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on
Yeah. Yes. Dun 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 dun.
Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on
Woo! My heart is just thumping. I love it. It's the best feeling in the world. Okay. So, I think I'm going to add this kind of pulsing.
Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under
I just want to start at the top again and listen all the way through, just context. Here we go.
Darkness is coming. No use in running. The chaos is rising. No chance of surviving. What would you do if the world was ending? Say your goodbyes before we're dead. Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on fire. If we stand together, our chances get better. A hopeless endeavor. If we die without trying, then it won't mean a thing. So what would you give to see tomorrow? Just to survive another day. Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on fire.
Okay, we got to build the rest of this. I was like, I'm going to keep this at like a sub 2 hour stream. And then I'm like, now we need to finish this. This has to get finished today. Like right now, I need to finish this. All right. So the melody I had in mind is this strings. You can hear the strings, or not, sorry, strings. You can hear it in the piano right now, but this will be huge strings. Okay, so it's going to be that kind of vibe. The nice thing is what we can do is I know I can grab, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab the percussion here first and copy this over. By the way, I don't typically do this, but I'll probably change it. But this is more or less so I can get the bass and the strings put together, and then I'll go back and rework the percussion. So it's not, so Mark, you said the ambience, that sound, yes, but that's not going to be the sound that we're using. That's just basically, I had the idea while I got up, yes, actually I go to F sharp major, by the way. Here, I'll just play the whole thing for you so you can hear it, because the chord changes are really cool. It's a totally different chord change. And then here it is. It's that rising element. And then it goes up the octave. This is all going to be huge orchestra, brass, strings. Sky on fire. And this will be the end. So this is going to be unique. I usually end with a final chorus because Yeah, I usually end with a chorus, but in this case, I feel like we're already at 3.5 minutes, so I'm gonna end with an instrumental, and then she'll just do some crazy vocal layers and stuff on this, like melodies and backup vocal type stuff. So yeah, the chords are C minor, and then I go to this E major 7, but using the second inversion. And then an A major 7. And then you do, and then we do F major. And then a G sharp major. And then back to that. So yeah, let's go ahead and do strings first. So that'll be the thing. I'll have to do this one at a time because it's kind of. Dun, 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 dun. Can I not do that? There we go. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is grab all this and then copy it down an octave. So now we have an octave. Oh, I just realized something. I want it on this one. That's funny. There it is. Ha 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 ha. And then I'm gonna need kind of All right, so I'm gonna copy these strings and then do another one. All right, here's a little cool trick for you. So this is called inverting something. So right now we have this, which is a going up. But if you can invert it, dun 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 dun. That's a really cool contrast. So watch this. I'll solo out the strings here and show you what I'm talking about. 4, 5. So, and obviously I would need to rework that second one. And then one thing I could do here is I might all right, I'm gonna get rid of the low one. That's a little too messy. Actually, you know what? That's sounding a little messy as well. It's a cool thing. I still like the idea. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do 3, 4, 5, 6. It's still a little messy. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna just do chords, just because I want to make sure that main dun 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 dun. I really want that to be heard. So if I do this counter thing, it'll kind of, it's a really cool effect and it can work. But since right now I want the strings that we have so far, I want that to be the main thing. And if I do this kind of inverted thing with it, which can be really cool if that's the sound I want, which as I'm doing this and trying it out, it's just not working. So I'm just gonna go with just straight chords. So that, there we go, 2. Yeah, I like that a lot. All right, so we need to get some low strings in here. I'm gonna copy, so low strings, low. So I have to grab a different one. Low strings. There we go. Yeah, here we go. Roger, no, she's not. No, she's not a producer. She's not just an artist. She's an artist and a vocalist and a songwriter. She's a really good songwriter. She wrote most of the lyrics to the song. I wrote the chorus. She and I worked on all the rest together here in the studio yesterday. All right, so we need an extra little bit of drums. And then drop there. No, 6/8's a pretty common time signature. Oh, that's why. It's like, what the heck? I don't need that extra one. I just realized I got this. There we go. All right, cool. So now we're going to do... Okay. Yeah, Muse is great. There we go. That's what I want. Great. We're pretty loud right now. It won't be so loud. Okay. There we go. And then she'll sing this last line in here. Sky on. Here we go, like this. Sky on fire. And that's how it's gonna end. Ah! Yeah, we're loud. We're gonna. In fact, I'm gonna turn everything down right now, just because we're here, and I may as well just turn everything down, which is the most sad thing ever. I hate turning stuff down, but it's good. There we go. Okie dokie. Dun. I'm gonna do that second half. Wow, I actually performed that pretty good. Not very many mistakes. Boom. Just want to kind of listen to getting into this a little bit.
Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on fire.
Oh yeah, we need these strings way louder. Boom. Okay, we need to fill in some of these keyboards now. Where is it? Nope. This one. The big Brahms, that's output using analog brass and woodwinds for that. Pretty good. It's a hit or miss library, honestly. Yeah, it's a hit or miss library. Okay. I want to just add this little. There we go. Just that. Yep. The question, am I going to convert the tracks to wave and then mix, or will I stay MIDI and mix? I usually just keep it this way and then mix. I used to do it that way where I'd like bounce down the stems and like everything and print everything and then mix. And to be completely honest with you, like the one nice thing about that is, yes, you are committing. But for me, what I do is I go up to File, Project Alternatives, and then I create a new alternative, and then that's what I mix in. So that way I'm not switching. I'm not like printing everything down. Instead, I open up a new alternative, and that is basically my cue that I'm done. And that way I don't tweak anything. So the reason a lot of people will say like print everything down, convert it to a wave, is because it's like, stop tweaking. You need to stop tweaking and just mix, which I totally agree with. But for me, I'm not sitting here saying like, go look at me, I'm awesome. This is like, I just don't have that problem. Like when I decide I'm ready to mix, I'm ready to mix. I don't need to bounce stuff down to a wave to be disciplined, to not change things. I just do it. And to be completely honest with you, mixing for me only takes like an hour or two. If it's something like this, it already sounds really good, maybe an hour and a half. And most of that is vocal processing and like getting the vocal sounding killer and then making sure the low end is where it needs to be. And so, yeah, I mean, other than that, it's kind of like pretty straightforward. The other benefit to bouncing down to wave files or AIFF or whatever is if for some reason you were to lose a sound or like anything like that, then that would be a benefit of doing that. So like, let's say, for example, like you have a sound and you haven't used that sound for like 5 years and the library updates and then you're like basically screwed. That's just kind of a risk, I guess, of not bouncing. I personally haven't really had that problem. Maybe I will, and maybe I'll regret it. Maybe I should, I don't know. But I'm not terribly worried about that. All right, so I just want to see if I want to do anything else in here. Time to add some more craziness, because why not? Drums, 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 drums. There's no such thing as too many drums, and for some reason I always have issues with this library. I don't know why. For some reason it never wants to do what I... I want to do lives more. All right, cool. This is one of my favorite libraries here. All right, so in order to get it so it's not sounding like weird, like the notes are stopping, this is the one kind of downside of this library, is then you grab all these short notes and then make them longer, which looks ugly. Yeah, it's kind of one of the downsides of this library. I don't like that. Yeah, there we go. So then I can just grab all the... Yeah, reverb can also help. It's so funny, Joe the Dauntless said that, and then I was literally in the middle of doing it. Evolution hits. Yeah, this is like the honestly, like Keep Forest is like the go-to if you want those big trailer sounds, trailer hits and stuff. I love that ending. It's like a tip the hat to the start of the song. I'm a big fan of that continuity. Do. Okay, I'm gonna back up a little bit. I want to go to you know what? Let's go. I just want to listen to the top from the top.
Darkness is coming. No use in running. The chaos is rising. No chance of surviving. You do if the world was ending. Say your goodbyes before we're dead. Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to go under your skin, burning your soul, sky on fire. If we stand together, our chances get better. A hopeless endeavor. If we die without Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on
There we go. Heyo. So we started this stream 2 hours ago. I didn't have like any of this, and now it's like ready. Sailor just texted me. She said she's watching. Sailor, if you're here, you should say hi in the chat. And everyone else, let's give Sailor a huge round of applause for the vocals, even though this is literally just a scratch track vocals. Like, it's literally, I think this is like a one take thing. Yeah. VO1 beats. What do you mean by anything else? Renee, we are having issues. We just switched the domain to the course like yesterday, and so we unfortunately have to wait for like a day potentially for the website to be up and running again. So if you're having any issues, here, actually, I think this link is working. Sailor! This is our vocalist right here, Sailor Wilterding. And she also wrote a good chunk of the song, so she and I wrote this together. So yeah, pretty sick. I mean, I'm going to do some fine tweaking on it and everything, but I feel pretty good. Like, this is definitely in a good enough state that we could track vocals and everything else. So, hey-yo. Fun stuff. Thanks for hanging, everybody. This has been fun. If you guys have any, just questions. Okay, here's a question. So what's the suggestion for beginners who are trying to market their music? Make a lot of music and publish a lot of music. Yeah, Sailor Wilterding is a woman. Yes. Just hear me out. Guitar solo. That's so funny. Yeah. Is this the end of the song? Yeah, it is. The song's like over 3.5 minutes. So it's a good length. And you know what? Here's my philosophy around song length. I want it to be the kind of length that when it ends, people are like, dang it, it's over. And then they have to listen again. It takes weeks to do what we did in 2 hours. Well, appreciate that. I mean, I've been doing this a while, so that helps. So yeah, I mean, this is like, just in terms of like overall, okay, back to the question. Sorry, because I put it on the screen and never answered it. How to market music. I mean, honestly, I'm not an expert on music marketing, but you have to make a lot of music, publish a lot of music, put yourself out there a lot. Like, imagine like the music you put out are like, casting lines out in the ocean for catching fish. The more you put out, the more you're going to get. So, if you're only putting out like one song every 6 months, that's just not even in the ballpark of enough. I just started releasing music as an artist. I mean, I've been doing just producing and not artist anything for a long time. And I didn't really want to release music as an artist, but then I just was like, you know what? I've got too much music as it is that I need to, and I would rather just feature vocalists like this. And we're publishing like 2 songs a month, original songs, and that's not including everything else I'm doing. So there's a lot of stuff that I do that's just purely instrumental, has no vocals. But I would say this is like a pretty typical scenario, like what I just did today. Typically, it takes like anywhere between 2 and 4 hours to produce something from scratch. Obviously, today was 2 hours, but I had already put probably 2 hours in. And then I think we spent maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours writing yesterday. So, you know, all in, it's like this, again, this song did not exist yesterday. And, you know, now it's pretty much a fully fledged instrumental. We'll get vocals and all that jazz done soon. But yeah, Ari, her stand is good. He's got a YouTube channel as well. There's a handful of other guys out there that do this. So are we allowed to use sample libraries like you do and actually make profit through you? Yeah. Sample libraries you can do. What you need to be careful with are like melodic loops from like Splice. So if you're using melody loops from Splice, that's where you're going to run into problems. I do not use melodic loops ever. Using drum loops is a completely different thing. Drum loops you can use, sample libraries you can use, because the licenses allow release. You just need to be really careful with melodies. When I talk about publishing, do I mean release it like an artist? Yeah, I mean like in any way, shape, or form, whether that's distributing through, you know, Spotify, SoundCloud, you know, whatever else. And it just depends on what you want to do in music. There's like 100 different ways to make money in the music business. Everyone thinks of releasing music as an artist and building an artist career as like the big thing, but that's not how I've made my living. There's 100 ways to do it. You can get into commercial music, which I've done. You can do licensing. You can do, you know, producing artists for client work. You can do content like I do, all this stuff. So yeah, no, not the same sailor from American Idol. All right, I'm going to play this top to bottom one more time. I need to use the restroom, so I'm going to play it. And then I'll be back and we'll kind of wrap this up. Here we go.
Darkness is coming. No use in running. The chaos is rising. No chance of surviving. What would you do if the world was ending? Say your goodbyes before we're dead. Sky on fire. Sky on fire. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Under your skin, burning your soul. Sky on fire. If we stand together, our chances get better. A hopeless endeavor. If we die without trying, then it won't mean a thing. So
Dope. I'm really happy with this. All right, cool. Do you guys want to hear the other song we did? Because this was the one that we wrote yesterday. But yesterday we actually tracked vocals for another song. I'll pull it up. I will pull it up. Where the heck is it? I've got too many folders. There it is. Okay. So you don't want to be an artist. Like, how'd you find your first gig? So my first gig was actually writing music for commercial stuff, like video, film. I wish there was like a really easy like structure. This is actually like one of the reasons why I never talk about like how to make money with music, because honestly, I think that it's very gray, and it kind of bothers me a little bit. I'm not going to say it bothers me that people talk about making money with music, because obviously like there are ways to make money with music and there are real things that you can do. But the truth of the matter is that there's no like one way. You can follow some suggestions and advice, and you can, build content, you can do whatever. But like how I got going with music was personal network. I literally just sold myself everywhere I went. I don't mean that in like a derogatory way. I just mean I was super diligent about if there was ever even the smell of an opportunity, I would jump on it and I would say yes, no matter what, even if it was something that I ended up hating. And the thing is, I think there's a lot of benefit to doing that. I think there's a lot of value in doing work that you don't enjoy, because you learn about what you like and what you don't like. Like, for example, I got hired to co-compose, orchestrate, and arrange a full-blown musical. So like this was like a live musical. It's like literally 200 pages of music. I mean, literally like the deck of music is huge. I had to basically take melodies and lyrics and then convert them into what could actually be performed on stage by an orchestra and like soloists and choir. It took a year. I made a lot of money from it. At the time I was 21. I think I just turned 21 when I got that job, and I made like maybe $20,000 from that project. And I was working on other things along the way, but it did take a year just between like revisions and everything else. But it was like $20,000, which is, that's like a lot of money for a 21-year-old, especially with one gig. And that whole thing just kind of, I am thankful for it, but I would never do it again. I learned really quickly, like, this is just not the kind of work I want to do. It's just, it's really hard. And, but then I've done other things like writing music for commercials, which is also like really freaking hard, but like in a totally different way. Like I wrote music for a Quilted Northern commercial last year, that I got brought in for. It's insanely competitive. The deadlines are ridiculous. Like you have to, like, I mean, I basically got the text saying, hey, can you send us music for this commercial? And they needed it like tomorrow, you know what I mean? And that was like at like 11:30 in the morning. I'm getting this text say, hey, we need music tomorrow, end of the day. And, and I'm writing to like a crappy animated commercial. That's not even the actual commercial. And then I think that went through like 13 revisions with the ad agency. And that's just the kind of work it is, man. Like, it's just hard. And I can't say how much I got paid for it. It was a lot for 30 seconds of music, but like, it's also like, it was like a month-long process. So, you just kind of got to pick and choose like what you really want to do. Like I enjoy that kind of work. It's really hard, but I do enjoy it. All right, here, I got this song. But I mean, for me right now, like I'm like more focused on just like this kind of stuff and then, my YouTube channel, bringing value to you guys, just all that. So yeah, you just use Logic Pro for it. So yep. The deadlines in the television industry are absolutely outrageous. Most people just would not have any idea. Like I know some people are like, oh, I would love to do that. And it's like, no, you wouldn't. You're stressed out of your mind. Like, it's insanely stressful work, and you're competing for it. You're not even guaranteed the gig. If you get hired for something, like in the case of, if you're actually doing like a movie trailer and you were the one that they got brought in, like, hey, you write this music. We're going to pay you to do this. That's different. But a lot of the cases, it's like you and 10 other people are fighting for that opportunity, and then the ad agency picks the one they like, and it might not even be the one that is the best. Like, it's so subjective. So it's tough. But again, that's one of the reasons why I don't get into talking about the music business in the sense of like making money, because I'm not an expert on it. I feel like a lot of things that happened to me that gave me opportunities are just not easily replicable. Like, I can't just be like, start a YouTube channel, like opportunities will come. Like, because that's kind of what happened for me. Like, my world changed when my YouTube channel exploded, and I started getting, tons of opportunities from that. So yeah. So what am I doing with this song? So, I mean, first of all, I wrote this song. I don't do anything unless I am directly involved with the writing and the composition of a song. That's like a major stipulation for me. So at this point, like, I've produced artists where they come in, they're like, hey, I got this song, can you produce me? And then, I'll do it. I don't do that anymore because I need to be involved in the songwriting at this point, because that's one of my favorite pieces. And so if I can't be involved, then that's like stripping me away of one of my favorite parts. So I have to be involved in the writing. I have to be involved from start to finish. That's just kind of my rubric at this point. So, I've had artists reach out, and there's one in particular that, anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but like, there's one in particular that I've been going back and forth with, where it's like, they seem like she's like, I want you to be a collaborator on this. Like, I want you writing music with me. I want you jumping into this with me. I want this to be a partnership. That's something I can get behind. But if it's like, hey, I got this song, like, what's your producer fee? And like, I'll give you like your 4 points and call it a day. Like, I just don't do that anymore. So, just cause I just don't enjoy that. So I am making the music I'm making now for licensing, for television, for use in film, which is competitive again, but I get to work on the stuff I want to work on. So, Sierra, I apologize, I haven't gotten back to you on that. So I did a video on Phineas production, just so you know, but I'm not going to just like go out of my way to do more of those probably. Just, yeah, he's a good producer though. All right. So this is the song that we did yesterday for, we actually tracked vocals yesterday, and so I got these vocals and everything. So this is another one of these songs with Sailor, but this is actually like a final production. As you can see, this is a rough mix. I'm going to be actually doing the main mix tomorrow. All right, so do I sell the song, or is it yours as an artist? So yeah, it's mine as an artist. We'll be releasing this under my artist distribution channel, basically. But licensing is not selling the song, it's selling the use of the song. So licensing is not, hey, you get ownership of the song. It's no, you have permission to use this, and you're paying me in exchange for that. So if someone uses my music in a TV show, I'm going to get a sync fee. They're going to pay me up front. And then every time that airs on television, I get paid on the back end with royalties. So anyway, it's kind of a confusing world. Anyway, here's the song. Let's do it.
Would have laid my armor down, buried hatchets in the ground. Thought you'd call it off by now. You seized every opportunity, cut me down and watched me bleed. Forced my hand, I moved my queen. You can never win until you start to play the game. You never wanted to play. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to die. If it's my time, I lived my life. Take my place, stand for light. I'm ready to die. I'm ready to fight. Waved my banner in the sky. I surrendered from the fight. Something changed in me that night. You can never win until you start to play the game. You never wanted to play. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to die. Oh, if it's my time, I lived my life. Take my place, stand for light. I'm ready to die. I'm ready to fight.
Boom. This was a fun one. So yeah, Sailor co-wrote this one with me as well. This was another one of the songs that, like, last week it didn't exist and now it does. So yeah. Bo, the Lander plugin on the stereo out, that's how I'm getting audio to the stream. I'm using Lander sessions for that. So that is how I'm using it. The Lander sessions is great. So I think there's a question about like headroom or something. This isn't mastered. I have a mastering engineer. I don't master my own music. I just, I don't. That's not something I want to do. So I don't. So yeah, the big boom. Yeah. This was probably one of the most verbed out vocals I've ever done. The vocals are very verby, but I feel like it works really well in the context of everything. I think I need a gain stage. Well played. That's well played, Sean. You watched the video, and yep, I've got my thoughts about that. So yeah, gain staging is overrated. Not overrated. It's overblown. Gain staging is important. It's just people just freak out about gain staging. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, but this is yeah. Any questions, guys? Like, I mean, I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have, just around production, preferably not about making money with production. We kind of talked about that a little bit, and like I said, that's not something I really feel like that's not really something I feel like like I said, I'm not an expert at. And I feel like my story of getting to where I am is again, just it's not something I can like tell you to go replicate. So anyways, but yeah, we'll probably end this here in just a second, but if you guys have any like last thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Otherwise we're gonna call it, and I need to send this to Sailor, and then we need to figure out if we're gonna record vocals on Friday and then knock this guy out. So yeah. What are the best piano plugins that are versatile for most genres? I don't know if there's like one that would be like, use this for all genres, but like, I mean, the Hammers and Waves bundle is my favorite right now. It's not just a piano library. Yeah, I mean, that's not just a piano library. It's a bundle of libraries, but I find myself using it a ton. But if I'm just going for like a straight up piano sound, all the Native Instruments ones are incredible. I love the Grandeur, Noir, Unicorda, the Giant. Those are all good ones. So pretty much any of the Native Instruments ones I would recommend. How do you make that warble sound? Like with the bass, or like what? I'm not the best at those questions. Like EDM stuff, like all the automation with that's not something I really get into. I usually just find presets that already sound awesome. I know some people geek out over that. I'm just not one of those people that does. So like, I would probably just use like the LFO tool. That's a good one. It's a good plugin to use if you want like pulsating stuff. It's by XFR Records. It looks like, let's see if can I just pull it up? Why did it not pull up? There you go. LFO tool. This is a really good one. You can manipulate the crap out of it. I think it's great. Tell my story. I think that's gonna have to be for another time. It's long. How to not ever use SFX, like special effects like sweeps and risers. How often in the track do you use them? That's a good question. I tend to use them as transitional elements. So and then use them strategically. So, if we look at all the elements I have in here, we've got risers and lifts and everything here, and I think there's one other spot maybe. Yeah, so it's not as much as it seems, but I usually place it. I place them between chorus, so like going into a chorus, going out of a chorus. So use them as transitional glue. That's what I tend to recommend. Okay, best way for a beginner to get into production such. I want to know when will these epic songs be released? Okay, so as far as getting into production, I have a whole video about it. If you look up learn to produce 10 times faster. I know it's kind of a quote unquote clickbaity title, but I think I deliver. I talk about some really straight up things you can do. It would just take me too long to talk about that in this video. Am I using stock instruments? No, not in this production. I have nothing wrong with stock instruments, but I tend not to use them. Any method of adding LFO modulations like the Fall Chain Smokers? I don't know about like in Logic, but like that LFO tool would be good. Could I explain my arrangement for that song? The I'm Ready to Fight, I think that'll just take a little too long to go through right now. I could probably do it maybe in another stream. I'm following a lot of the same strategies around arrangement in this song that you watched me produce as the other one. So yeah. Which sample library should you buy as your first? I think any of the Native Instruments bundles are the best. I mean, if you have the money for the Ultimate, I think I would do that. It's expensive. It's over $1,000, but they have other bundles that are cheaper. If you want free libraries, Spitfire Labs, and then Native Instruments Complete Essentials, I think is what they call it, or Complete Starter or something. Just look up the Native Instruments free one. Favorite stock Logic plugins? I think their compressors are actually really good. The compressors are underrated in my opinion. They sound great, and I think I like them a lot. The Vintage EQ, I really like their Vintage EQ in here, the Vintage EQ collection, their Tube EQ right here. I use this on my vocals a ton. Really good. What do you think while choosing an odd time signature? I mean, the 6/8 is not a strange time signature. It's very common. I don't really write music in genuinely odd time signatures. That'd be like 5/8 or 7/8 or something like that. So, do you sometimes review non-English songs? I mean, in my private community, I do. Yeah. Like if you're a part of Producer Accelerator, which is my program, we do weekly feedback with our students every single Friday. And it doesn't matter what language a song is. Like we've gotten like songs in French and Swedish and a handful of other languages. What software do I use for music? This is Logic Pro, but I use a bunch of other software too. Sound libraries, obviously, are all big ones, but like Logic Pro is the DAW. Okay, here's a question. Would I put the special effects on every transition? No. I mean, even if you look at this song, I don't use the first time you get a genuine big transition is not until, over 2 minutes in right here. These other transitions are very mild, very soft transitions. The collector's bundle, is it worth buying? I think it just depends on what you need. The collector's bundle is going to have a lot more of the orchestral stuff, which I use a lot. All the brass in here is from the collector's edition. I do have it. I think there's a lot of really good extra stuff, but it's obviously like $1,500, I think. And so I think you just kind of have to evaluate like how much do you really need? Because if you're just getting started and you don't have any of it, I'm just going to tell you the collector's bundle is going to be very overwhelming to you because you're going to have more stuff than you even know what to do with. I haven't even tapped into all of it, and I've had it for years. So, okay. Hotkeys improve productivity. I'm assuming that's just a statement. Using 4/4 always. The Sound Chronicles. You should try using other time signatures. Try 3/4, 4/4, 6/8. Try other time signatures. I think it really helps. Do I use GarageBand? No, I use Logic. I personally don't like GarageBand. I started on GarageBand when I was like 14, and within a year I switched to Logic. That was back when it was Logic 9. So, it's been Anyway, yeah, cool. I went through those like really fast, I know. So I think we'll call it. Thank you guys for joining. Appreciate you. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. I'm gonna go get some food. We'll see you later, guys.